MTV decides to throw this thing where everybody's gonna battle. And here this kid is on the line. Like these American Idol things where they try to sing, where they just imagine that like something magical is gonna happen in the moment. That magical moment they had in the shower is going to take place here with the lights and the cameras on. The same thing was happening with rap, which is even more weird because maybe with the singing, you could have a moment. And I remember thinking to myself, you know, if this was a slam dunk contest, everybody would know automatically that they can't fucking slam dunk. There wouldn't be a line so big that it's disrupting traffic in the city. You know, they know, oh, I can't slam dunk. No sense in me joining that contest. Not with rap. There's pros and cons to confidence. In terms of rap, well, actually, let's take it in terms of battle rap. So, confidence is good, and confidence goes a long way in all aspects of life. But when you have to create something that's going to compete against other things, confidence can work against you. See, if you're so confident that you think too highly of yourself or your material, you're kind of disillusioned at that point. You don't have a realistic view of where your material stands. You're so confident that you're ready to go to war with this. And your sword is made of aluminum and your shield is plastic, and you're ready to do battle against machine guns. Get the point. So, though I seemed overly confident and I seemed overly aggressive in my battle days, my strength came from a place of fear. It didn't come from a place of confidence. You know, one time, I worked in an appliance store for a very long time, and I actually lived upstairs from the appliance store. So I used to just get out of bed and go to work. One time we were delivering a fridge, and I was on the bottom. I don't do pauses. I was on the bottom, and it slipped out of my hands, and we were like already up the flight of steps. Do you know that to this day, I don't know how I ran down the steps backwards. Like, the fridge is free falling, and I managed to run down all of those flights of steps, you know, without having the fridge like crash into me and make me fall. Fear is powerful. Fear is very, very powerful. And tell me if I'm not alone in this. In the mind in general. I'm going to bring it back. You'll see how it all ties in. You ever you're holding something like a drink or whatever it is, and it falls out of your hand, and then you react without thinking, and then you just kind of marvel at the mind and just your system, and you're just like, this thing is alive. Hold on, it's like the instincts are out of control, crazy. You know, what fraction of a second am I reacting in? You see, when you draw from that place of fear, especially when it comes to doing battle, you're going to construct something that is far more powerful than if you are convinced you have it in the bag. If I lost the battle, I never really prepared. Anytime that I ever lost to somebody, I didn't really have anything prepared for them. But if I prepared for you, it was, in most cases, it was from a place of fear. Because you're going to make sure that you're coming with something that it's death proof. Because you're aware of all of the ways that you can lose. You're aware of all of the things that can go wrong. You're aware, so you're preparing, you're fighting the loss before the fight even begins. I remember when I went, there was a battle in MTV. They were trying to do a battle. When I went, it was such a disaster that the thing never ended up happening. So many people showed up. And there was this one person in particular that showed up. And he never rapped before. He never rapped. I ended up in some kind of program in the city, in Canal Street. It's called The Door. It was supposed to be like a program for like, I don't know. There's all sorts of fucked up shit that was there. It was like gang members. Then you had the 5%ers. I became a 5%er at that point in my life because I gravitated to them more so than the gang members and all this fucked up shit you had, and I ended up in this program. So there was this kid never rapped. He didn't rap. You know what I'm saying? I was with the gods. I rapped. You know what I'm saying? So they rapped. So I clicked with them. When they were the more intelligent out of the whole thing. So this one kid, he never rapped. Yet. MTV decides to throw this thing where everybody's gonna battle. And here this kid is on the line. Like these American Idol things where they try to sing, where they just imagine that like something magical is gonna happen in the moment. That magical moment they had in the shower is going to take place here with the lights and the cameras on. So they show up and they wait online for 3 days. It's because the prospect, like what the win means, the win is so big that it overpowers, like the thought of it overpowers the reality that you can't sing and this is not going to go well. The same thing was happening with rap, which is even more weird because maybe with the singing, you could have a moment, your vocal tone happens to catch. It's plausible. It's more plausible than magically you're going to start constructing raps when you don't rap. Like, rap is something that you have to formulate that, like, anybody can do that, like it's a voice. We all have voices. We don't all have raps. But yet, this kid was driven to do this. And I remember thinking to myself, if this was a slam dunk contest, everybody would know automatically that they can't fucking slam dunk. There wouldn't be a line so big that it's disrupting traffic in the city. They know, I can't slam dunk. No sense in me joining that contest. Not with rap, not with rap and with singing. For some reason, people think that a miracle's gonna happen. Something crazy's gonna happen, and it is gonna have an ability that they've never really had before in their life because they never pursued this up until this moment. That's what contests seem to do. Anyway, I went there prepared. I was so prepared. I had so many raps. When I went to try out for at some point I had tried out for the 106 in Park. I actually battled T-Top. They gave it to him, so I didn't make it past the thing. I'm very honest about my shit. I have no reason not to be. That kid got obliterated. My shit was just way too next level. The judges, they didn't understand it. Like I started off with, I think I might even remember what I did. I can't. I have to take some time to get that back. I came prepared with so much shit because I'm coming from a place of what can go wrong? Let me have something for this. Let me have something for that. Let me have. Because I'm coming from a place of fears that you're extra precautious. You function differently when you're moving off of fear. You're more alert. fear always brought out the best in me. You know, confidence is really, 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 really important. Without confidence, you can kind of defeat yourself if you don't have the proper confidence. Confidence goes a long fucking way. Confidence can outdo talent. But when you're dealing with something like sport, so battle rap is a sport, it doesn't matter, because sports don't work that way. You can be as confident as you like on the field, you know what I'm saying? But if you ain't scoring no motherfucking goals, you know, if we're playing soccer, you ain't getting no home run, your confidence don't count for shit. You got to put numbers on the board when it comes to sport, right? So I like to use battle rap as an example, because it's something where you can be confident, but we're going to look at your material and we're going to judge you for your material. So your confidence is good for performance, but the actual thing got to be there. Your confidence ain't gonna make up for that. In music, it can. There's a lot more masking. There's writers, there's people who are going to do the creative part, you know, so you can make a career off of confidence alone. There's all sorts of careers. There are rappers that don't rap. They don't rap, and they're rappers. Like, that's the entertainment business, right? You know, a girl that people think she's amazing. Why is she amazing? She's amazing because she looks like an ordinary girl. And you guys just think that, oh, there's something amazing about that. You know? So it's like, she'll become the next fucking star. And the talent part's not really important. The talent's like, don't worry, we'll insert talent. Don't worry about that. So, you want to have a combination. You want to be confident, I think, when all is said and done. When it's time to present yourself. You want to present yourself confidently, but you want to draw from a place of fear.